Hello guys, welcome to this video lesson. In this video, you will learn the Y12 controversy in column design as applied to Protastructure. You also understand the minimum area of steel formula to Eurocode 2 as applied to Protastructure, and you will get the final verdict as to give you concrete confidence whether to use Y12 in column or not. So from Eurocode 2, section 3.1.2, a test was carried out and it was discovered that concrete is strong in compression and weak in tension. Now, the reinforced concrete column that we are concerned about in this video lesson is a compression member, and concrete is strong in compression. Does that really mean we shouldn't add reinforcement, or we can add any diameter of reinforcement in column? So we are going to be looking at this fully, and then at the end of this video you will have a concrete confidence on whether to use Y12 in column or not. So stick to this video till the very end so you can gain the whole knowledge that is in this video's lesson. If this is the first time you have come across our channel, Solve Reason Academy, consider subscribing. Do well to like the video so YouTube can recommend this video to our colleagues out there seeking for a knowledge like this. Alright. Now, as a civil engineer or as a civil structural engineer, when we design a structure like this, there's basically three things in our mind. We design for aesthetics, that is number one. Number two, we design for economy, and number three, we design for safety. So while you are designing, you should have these things in your mind that will guide you on your design of all of the structural elements successfully. So this is a residential structure. I have done this structural analysis and design, although I have not optimized the members yet. So let us look at one of the columns here. Let's see the design reinforcement in the column. I will select this particular column, and then I will navigate to the section design. Once I click that, this is column reinforcement design property window. Over here, the section is 300 by 2 to 5 millimeters. And I have 4 numbers of reinforcement selected in this column. As it is being highlighted here, this is for H12. And you should know that H is high tensile steel, while Y is heat steel, okay? So the area is 452 millimeters square right there. Then the next thing you have to check, I will check all of this, is to check the utilization ratio. So in the utilization ratio, that is where we have the safety aspect of the thought of a civil engineer. Okay, so the U ratio now is 1.0, and you know that if this U ratio is beyond 1, the structure will fail, like the column will fail. Okay, so this U ratio being at 1.0, the column is already stressed up with this 4 H12 reinforcement. Okay, so you need to optimize this column. So in the process of optimizations, you want it to actually sustain the load that it is carrying, or the axial load that it is carrying comfortably. So that's why I want to optimize it by adding more reinforcement in it. So let's, for instance, we consider Y12 to be in this column. And then we come to this provision of 1 inch. So this 1 inch simply means the first intermediate rebar. So we have one right here. So you can see I've provided 1 intermediate reinforcement here. And then this has increased the numbers of reinforcement to 6H12. And then we have also increased the area of steel to 679 millimeters square. Then it has also reduced the U ratio. So U ratio at 0.67 is much more comfortable, all right, for this column to sustain the load successfully. So we have safety here, but we do not have economy here. So how do we now check for economy? Now we have 6 number rather of H12 reinforcement in this column. Okay, and then let's say we are going to use Y16, and then let's check for safety, and then we'll also check for economy. But I've already said that we do not have economy because we are going to be comparing 6 numbers of H12 and 4 number of H16. So we come over to the diameter provision right here, and then you choose diameter 16 right here. And then over here, I will change this first intermediate rebars to 0. So I have nothing there. Compare the area of steel. You see we have 804 square millimeters, which is quite higher than the previous H6H12 reinforcement. And then if you come down to check the utilization ratio right here for the safety aspect of this particular reinforced concrete column, we have 0.56, which is much more comfortable than the previous. Now let's look at the economy. So economy, you have to check in the market how much the reinforcement are being sold. So from my recent market survey for Y16, I have that it costs 16,200 naira. So let us look at that, how much it is going to take us. From here, I have my calculator. So I key in 16,200 naira right here. So I have to multiply this by the total number of the reinforcement I have here. So this is like 4 number. So we are just doing this estimate. It's a rough estimate just to check for economy. Okay, so I have 4 right here, and then I click on equals to. So you can see I have 64,800 naira. All right, 64,800 naira to purchase the reinforcement for this column if we are using H16 for H16. Okay, also from the market survey I had recently, for H12, one length costs 12,500, and we are having 6 length of H12. So if you have 12,500 right here, and then you multiply it by 6, you can see that we have 75,000 naira. Sorry, 75,000 naira. Okay, you can see right there. So which is quite higher than when we will use 4Y16 or H16 in this column. Okay, so this is one way that you can actually check which of the reinforcement diameter to use. If you talk about the area of steel to the area of concrete sections, you can also see that in the area of aspect we have more area when we use H16 than when we used, H12 actually. Okay, in this column. So I believe this is clearly explained to this extent. If you have any question, drop it in the comment section. So we proceed. I want to show you the load that this particular column is actually sustaining. Okay, the load that this column is carrying. So to show you that, I will just have to close this window right here, and then we are at the second floor of this building. Okay, so I will navigate to the plan view through this provision. I select there, right click, and then change to plan view option. Okay, so now we move straight away to display tab and navigate to visual interrogation. Over here, go straight away to column display. We are looking at the axial load, and then the load cases. Selecting this provision, we are looking at dead load, live load. Click on OK. In the load combinations, select right here, we are looking at G plus Q load combination. Click on OK. All right, now click on OK again. Zoom closely. This is the reinforced concrete column, and then you can see the axial load that is on this column. Now, the summation of G and Q give you this combination 4. All right. So this is 78.6 kilonewton. All right. But if you want to do this in terms of checking or calculations, you have to convert this to Newton. So converting this to Newton, you have to multiply this by 1000. So if you multiply this by 1000, you will be having 87,600 Newton. That is the load that this particular column is actually carrying. Okay, let's navigate back to the 3D. Now, I want to be explaining the minimum area of steel formula to Eurocode 2. All right, and then I will also explain how it relates with this successfully. So here we go. This is the minimum area of steel formula according to Eurocode 2. So this formula consists of 2 parts. This is the first part, and this is the second part. So this first part has to do with axial load check, and then the second part has to do with geometry of the section, or geometry of the column, or the section of the column. All right. So before you can be able to check and have confidence in the number of reinforcement to actually select in column, you have to pass through about 3 steps. As you can see, it is quite explained from here that AX simply means the minimum area of longitudinal steel reinforcement required, and the NED, the design axial compression force, which is the one I just showed you in Protastructure. These are the vertical loads coming from the slab and the beams, all right, to the column, which is the axial load. And before you apply it here, you have to convert it just as I did, as I explained earlier. So FYD is the design yield strength of the reinforcement, e.g. for 500 grade steel. This is 500 divided by 1.15, approximately 435 megapascal. And then the AC right here is the cross-sectional area of the concrete columns. For instance, you have 225 by 450 concrete section. So it will give you 101,250 square millimeters right there. So if you keep all of these figures from what you have or what Protastructure has given to you into this formula, you can be able to check Protastructure in terms of the numbers of reinforcement selections, how accurate it is. Okay, time will fail us to be able to explain all of that in this video. So I will take time to explain this in the subsequent video so that you learn and understand how to use this area, minimum area of steel formula to Eurocode 2 to actually check Protastructure reinforced concrete columns reinforcement selection properly. All right, so I will also post this on our group chat. So if you are not in our group chat, check the link in the description of this video. You will see how to actually join the group chat, or you can just take a screenshot of this and then be able to check it. If you could not check it accurately, I will show you, just as I said earlier. You have to go through 3 steps to be able to check this properly, as compared to sections or to the diameter of reinforcement and the numbers of it that Protastructure actually selected in column successfully. So once you check this, you will be able to know whether you could use Y12 in column or not. So this is just the second way of checking it. The first one is looking at the economy, which I have explained earlier. Okay, now we proceed. My final verdict on this controversy is that you should have to carry out all the necessary check. A civil engineer should have to carry out all the necessary check. Just as we have checked for economy, we have also checked for safety, all right, of the column sections. And then you should also have to use the minimum area of steel, okay, minimum area of steel formula in Eurocode 2 to check as well before you can arrive at the diameter of reinforcement to actually use in your column successfully. Having taken that, on the normal circumstances, I want to advise, because based on my experience and previous check which I've done using minimum area of steel from Eurocode 2, I have actually discovered that because of high axial load generated from 2 floors building up, that you should not use Y12 in column. When you are designing from 2 floors building up, do not use Y12 diameter reinforcement in column. You can consider using Y12 diameter reinforcement in column when you are designing for 1 bungalow, 2 just a single story building, only 1 suspended floor building. Okay, you can't use it, but that building should not be a commercial structure. It should be a residential structure. So these are the conditions that actually permit you to use Y12 diameter reinforcement in column. The reason is because for a residential building of just a story building, the axial load that comes from it to the column is very minimal. It's small. Likewise, for bungalow, there is no much axial load. So Y12 can sustain it. Y12 diameter reinforcement can sustain it successfully or comfortably. But from 2 floors, 3 floors, and then 4 floors thereabout, Y12 cannot sustain the axial load that is coming from the structure. So you should not use it. I believe this is actually clarified successfully, and I know that we have learned 1 or 2 things in this video. Do not forget to like this video so our colleague can see this video and also get from the little knowledge. Okay, also do not forget to subscribe to our channel, Soft Freezing Academy, if this is the first time you have seen our video. Alright, you can check the link in the description of this video. There are templates that you can use to fast track your detailed drawings. And also we have an ongoing masterclass in Protastructure. I'm using Protastructure 2026. Okay. So we also have ongoing masterclass in Tekla Designer and other software that we teach on YouTube. So if you want to join our masterclass, you can reach to us using any of our handle on our channel successfully. At this point, we will stop here. Thank you for staying through this video lesson. Stay connected, stay safe, and bye for now.